behavioral sciences, HR background. You can give the best possible advice to, of course, you already have indicated to the some other ones you already had of the real-time one. But what I thought is for those who are already get into each of the silos of learning, as you said, at 10th standard, you thought that was the biggest thing. Then you went to the 12th standard. Then at the very crucial, which branch, like, do you go to law, do you go for engineering or science, or which group or commerce, etc., etc. There are large questions, fashion, cosmetic industry, all questions are come over there, even the panelists. So at that particular point of time, what is the particular point of time that counseling can help to the young age? Who should be the right age at 18 or 21? What would be the right age? Because I find large number of groups have come for counseling, those who have graduated or those at 12, which is the right thing to take. I'm sure with one knowing behavioral science and HRs what they look for, what is the right time to do it? Would you like to open out on that?
Yeah. I would definitely
build on this theme for something.
Yes, I would definitely want to say one thing, that catch them young. And how young is what I'll tell you. Again, now this is again an experiment which I did. It was a social experiment, an extremely successful one. So let me talk about it. So in an organization where I was the CHRO, it was an organization of engineers. And we wanted to do something by way of making our engineers feel proud of their job, making them take pride in their own jobs. It was at a time when the oil and gas business was down in the dumps in recession. So one way for them to take pride in their jobs, we thought, was let's call their children to the office and make our engineers, give them an experiential learning of what engineering is all about. Because I'm talking about a mindset where if I talk to the teenagers of today and say that, do you want to be an engineer? They would say, yes, I would like to become a software engineer, because that's the only thing that they're exposed to because of technology. But then there is a lot in engineering, which is there, which is the basic science of engineering, which is not really explored because people are jumping into software engineering most of the time, at least in a city like Mumbai. So in this experiment, when we invited young children to our office and we said, let's create a simulated environment for them where they are going to work on a project. The project assigned to them was to construct a marshmallow village, a village made of marshmallows. So we had a structural engineer who came and demonstrated to them the concepts of structural engineering. We had an electrical engineer who came and demonstrated to them what it means to have layouts so that the whole village is illuminated. We had a process engineer who came and demonstrated to them how things are going to run. And by the end of 8 hours, the young children had actually constructed that village, taking help from their parents who are working in the office. End of the day, we did a quick survey, talking to those students. We did a kind of a debrief because I take a lot of insights from conversations that I have with people. So during those debrief sessions, what really stood out was one thing. The engineers who were demotivated about themselves and their jobs had a very different story to tell. They said, we are proud of what we are doing. We take pride in being a structural engineer today because I was able to tell my son so many things which he did not know. The youngsters who were thinking what to do now, I'm talking of the age group of 9 to 15. These children started thinking about what I want to do in life. About 50% of the students came back to me saying, we would like to keep coming again, trying to explore whether we have an interest in this. Some of them said, we know we are not interested in this. So let me go back and talk to my parents about what my interest is. And let me focus my energy to take up things, learn things so that I'm able to go into that track. There was one student who said, I love what my dad does at work, but I want to be a medical practitioner. My father is telling me I should be an engineer. So I said, this is an opportunity. Let's get into a conversation. Now, 9 to 15 years old is a very impressionable age. And a lot of decision making begins. We call them adolescents. We say that they cannot take decisions, but fine. We can be right there as parents, helping them and giving them the pros and cons, opening up their mindset to the positives and the negatives. But they are there. They have gained 9 years of experience of living on this planet, watching their parents. So they have something and they can take decisions. The problem is if we let them on their own and do not tell them about what could go wrong, that's when things go wrong. But if you're there hand-holding them and discussing, having an adult conversation with them and trying to tell them that these are the pros and cons in a non-judgmental way, I think they will be able to make decisions. So 9 to 15 years is a very good age to get started. I'll give you one more example.
Please.
Yeah, so again, now I keep validating my experiments. If it worked in my population at the workplace, I cannot say that it'll work everywhere. So I kept validating it. So this was in a school. So I did an experiment again with the same age group. I picked up students from class 7 to class 10, and I had several rounds of conversations with them, simply asking them questions about what is it that you want to be when you grow up. The typical questions that Indian parents would ask us when we were very young, and we would come up with a lot of fantasy answers, and those answers would remain fantasies. So I did what my parents did with me. I didn't let those fantasy remain as fantasy. I brought them back to saying, okay, now if this is what you want to be when you grow up, what is it that you're going to start doing today? So I brought them to kind of making it their own responsibility to start building their steps towards getting there. No conversation was about what course you're going to take.
Yeah.
No conversation was about which college you want to join. No conversation was about what exam you want to give. All the conversation was about what is it that you want to be. And what each of those students came up with, they came up with a design roadmap of their career, which spans over 15 years from where they are today. The design roadmap actually gives them milestones which they wish to achieve and how they can alter those milestones if things don't come way. So one case, one girl, she said, I want to become a doctor. I want to work very specifically in the neuroscience field. I said, wonderful, plan A. But do you know what are the challenges to get there? You have to go through a very competitive series of examinations. And of course, luck also plays a part. So what is it that you're going to do if that's what you want to be? So she said, okay, plan B. I don't want to get into pharmacy because I don't want to get into the corporate world. I still want to stay closer to my purpose. So my plan B is I will try to get into dentistry and work specifically in the area of nervous, the challenges in nervous system while practicing orthodontistry. So I said, fantastic. But do you know there are challenges to get there even? What is your plan C? Our plan C was, let me look at all the paramedical courses that are available for me to still stay connected with the field of neuroscience. Let me look at becoming a therapist.
1, 2, 3.
And then I said, wow, this is nice. You have a roadmap with you. You have plan A, B, C. You won't fail. She said, ma'am, let me also give you, I have a plan D. My plan D is if everything fails and I don't get the required marks that the system demands to get into the science stream, I will take up arts and I will study psychology so that I still stay connected with my purpose. This was amazing. So this is a decision of a career map taken by students in the age group of 9 to 15. So if I could demonstrate it in 50 students, in 100 students, I think it's all about how we do these experiments with them. What are the conversations we have with them? And none of this was counseling them or telling them what to do. It was actually trying to ask them, what is it that you wish to do? And I'm here with a little more experiences, a number of years of experience than you have. And I will tell you where all things can go wrong. And it automatically, they start writing down their plan A, B, C, D. And I was absolutely impressed with that. And so a very quick answer to your question is, catch them young.
No, you know what?
Instead of focusing on the marks for 10th standard, I think if educational institutes keep some time for talking to students and invite people who can help them design their career, I think we have the answer.